I'm Benny Safdie, and I'm here at my favorite theater, the Walter Reade Theater here in New York with the Rabbit's Foot. I love the design. You know, it reminds me of an older time in New York City, and it stayed the same, and it has an amazing screen, and I love just the size and feeling of the theater. Go-to snack is Raisinets or Reese's Pieces. You take one of those, and then if you're really feeling good, you mix it with a thing of popcorn, and then you just kind of pour it in and shake it up. This is a very special theater for me, just because like I think the screen is so big, the room is very inviting, and I just have a lot of significant memories of watching movies in here. And I think that's what's kind of important to seeing movies in theaters, is that if you ever have the opportunity, you know, to see one of your favorite films in a theater, you know, you should go and do it, because the whole process of going to the movies, finding your seats, is another thing that just kind of lets it get deeper into your own head. And then you have memories, you know. We actually shot a scene in our first feature film, you know, the one that my brother and I made, Daddy Longlegs. That we shot in this theater, because the actor in it, he was a projectionist here at this theater. So it's definitely been a part of my time here in the city for a long time. I have a new movie coming out called The Smashing Machine, starring Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt. And it's about an MMA fighter, Mark Kerr, and it was a documentary made on him. He's just such a unique character. You know, he's this big guy, like really strong, the smashing machine, you know? And yet he's completely he really is trying to understand his feelings and his emotions at the same time. And he's very intelligent about it and trying hard. And that kind of contradiction on the surface seemed really interesting to me. And when Dwayne approached me about wanting to play Mark in a movie, I got it. You know, I understood Mark. I felt, you know, I could really relate to him. You know, this idea that just like seeing somebody who's so strong and you just kind of think, oh, that person can handle anything, you know, but they're really struggling at times. And you may not know that because you walk around, especially the city, and you see people and you don't know what they're going through. You know, they may look completely put together and on the inside, something else is happening. And I love fighters. I love fighting. And to just kind of really put myself in that position when MMA was kind of starting was a dream, you know, to see the camaraderie amongst the fighters and understand them. I just thought it was beautiful. I was like, I wish I was there, so now I can make that happen. Let me think. The most underrated Dwayne Johnson performance. I don't know if it's underrated because it's pretty well loved, but his performance in Fast Five is actually just amazing, because he completely just entered this franchise, and I just remember being like, oh my God, this is insane. He comes in with such a power and magnetism and just takes over the whole thing. It was amazing. So yeah, that I would have to say that was just what popped into my head. Anyway, so if I had to do a double bill with Smashing Machine, it is a no-brainer. It would be It's a Wonderful Life by Frank Capra, and that would be the double feature with Smashing Machine. One of the things that Dwayne and I talked about was how Mark Kerr and George Bailey were very similar. There's a shot when George Bailey gets the news that his brother got this job, and he kind of realizes, oh, I'm not going to be able to go and see my dreams. I'm going to have to stay here in Bedford Falls, and kind of is really destroyed. But it's his brother's homecoming, and he doesn't want to make him feel bad, so the camera pans with him as he enters the crowd, and he just changes from completely destroyed to smiling and going with the flow. And I was like, that hiding of the emotions, you know, for everybody else, that's Mark Kerr. You know, he's hiding his own feelings for the benefit of everybody else but himself. That really did inform a lot of Mark's character in The Smashing Machine. So that would make a great double bill. And I'm sure it'll happen at some point now.